I want to jump in here. Now, back to the basics is my talk. And it's going to go rather quickly. Again, education focused a little bit, as you would guess, but we've all seen that. We've all seen this on the website. I don't need to read all that. That was crafted many years ago by some really faithful and prayerful people that had a vision that God gave them to create a school on the kingdom's behalf. And that long ago vision is being rolled out before you. We had our first graduating class since 1983 last year, 6, and we have 9 this year. And so that vision is, again, manifesting right before our eyes. And so if you go to the next slide, again, points of emphasis. Now, I met with almost 60 different families this summer. I know that sounds a little nutty. If you ask my wife and my family, I am a little nutty, okay? If you ask my staff, they say I'm even more nutty, okay? But I did it because if I'm going to take on this job that I waited for 10 years to be here, not this specific one, but whatever job God had for me after my retirement, I was going to do it right. I was going to dive in and lean in and give everything I had, and then more from the Lord. So we start my talk on the foundation. Okay, before I get into details, it's foundational, back to the basics. If you go to the next slide. We're setting a course. Mr. Stone talked about vision and buildings and grounds and transportation and answered questions and a lot of macro and some micro. I'm going to talk about maybe the most important thing that we are facing, the next step. It's culture. When I met with the families over the summer, every time I met with a family, culture came up. Professional culture, student culture. I heard it over and over and over. And I took note and I said, one of these days I'm going to get to speak on it. Well, here we are. And so if you want to know what my definition based on biblical principles is of culture, there it is. And again, I don't expect to read everything, but that last sentence is how things are done at LCS. That's our culture. And it's not brick and mortar. It's not programs and technology and all that stuff. It's people. People are LCS. Go ahead. So these are a couple of guiding principles. You're not going to be able to read all of them, but I've underlined a couple of things, and you're going to notice something very familiar. I've biblically based it and tied it to strong foundational principles. Not from my standard. I love Mr. Stone. I love Kim Cope. I love Scott Spar and CNAS and all that, but they're not my standard. It's not your standard. The Bible's the standard. And so we're going to, as long as I'm here, and I'm employed, and I'm allowed and graced to be employed, we're going to follow imperfectly, but a perfect standard. And we're going to focus on mission, vision, and core values at the top. We're going to build relationships. If I heard another thing over and over in those meetings, it was communication. The type, the mode, the frequency, the cordiality, the affability of it. I heard that over and over. Then finally, we have to be healthy. Our families have to be healthy. Our staff has to be healthy. Our leadership staff has to be healthy. Our board needs to be healthy, spiritually, emotionally, relationally. But we've got to go back to that top one. We got to be laser focused on our mission, vision, and core values. Next slide. That leads into operations, policies, and procedures. So you got to get the first thing right. Now we go to the second. And in operation and policies, again, biblically based, I've been obsessed, and I know Mr. Brophy is tired of hearing, but every time we would sit down and make a change or propose a change or make a recommendation, talking to Dana or talking to Victoria or Virginia or talking to Kim or talking to whomever, we would be alignment obsessed. Building to building, district to the mission. Key elements. The leadership team, the spiritual formations. You notice I haven't talked about math and English yet. They're important. They're not as important as spiritual formations. You need to hear that from my mouth. Your leader needs to say that and then mean it. counseling, SPED, well-being coordination. We have great people in place. They just need to be in the right seats, on the right bus, going in the right direction, to borrow a metaphor. 5-star service, Mr. Stone mentioned that. He coined that. We're small. We're getting bigger based on the vision, but we should give 5-star service. We all know 5-star. We hear it. We kind of have a picture in our mind, but we should be able to pivot and be flexible, be able to customize and give 5-star service. And that starts with emulating Christ, serving people, investing in kids. Go back one thing. The policies which come out of that are going to be just common sense, major in the majors. Let's not major in the minors. Let's major in things that matter. And then finally, a couple of things of examples that Mr. Brophy, I cannot tell you, and I say this publicly, you've got one of the finest young administrators in this region. I've been around education 37 years. I have done just about every job. I've been an assistant principal myself in a large district, small. I've been a head principal. You have got a young man, loves the Lord, loves his family, loves this place. You have a good assistant principal, and he is a good man and professional for me. He's my right-hand man. It's indispensable. And so this stuff up here is what we worked on all summer. We had no vacation. We worked for you to get things in alignment so that we could do the job. The teachers could do their job, you as parents could do your job, and you could trust us. Next slide. Some procedures that we focused on. Academic supports, Mr. Stone mentioned that. Communication, I mentioned earlier. Discipline and attendance, that was another thing that came up over the summer. Approach discipline from a restorative perspective. Yes, discipline in Latin means training. Not to get too theological. But yes, we have to discipline. Yes, we have to hold people accountable for attendance. Yes, that's a part of it. We know what our nature is. But you know what? The goal is not moralistic behavior. The goal is to emulate Christ and to train up and guide and model. Scheduling. Mrs. Books has been working crazy hard on this. I mean, she is absolutely killing it right now. And she didn't get into the job until basically August. And so she is really, you have an excellent school counselor. She is working hard every day. You ask the students, they love her. Teacher curricular resources, we had to up our game there. We had to resource our teachers, coach our teachers, mentor our teachers, and then let them teach. And then keep coaching them. And finally, technology. Mr. Brophy is a big part of that. Our technology has upped its game as well, across the board. And how it functions, how it helps kids, and all the above. Next slide. Look at the last sentence to save time. That was the goal in the summer. God-honoring learning culture. Everywhere. You should be holding us accountable. You should be holding me accountable, imperfect vessel, admit it, to a God-honoring culture, a professional culture, a student culture, a learning culture, everything. And as long as I'm here, you're going to hear that come out of my mouth all the time. God-honoring culture. Go ahead. These are things that we've been hard at work at. Some are already in place, some are coming, or some are in process. Spiritual formations. Yes, excitingly, we should be announcing very soon a new Bible teacher full-time with an MDiv in theology, an educational background in teaching. So we got a solid rock Bible teacher. Now that does something that creates some dominoes that I'll tell you about. Chapel improvements. Our chapel, we have had at times 60 kids up here praying with staff members. Music has changed. Pastor Jared has done an amazing job. We cast a vision in the summer, Mr. Stone, myself, Pastor Jared, and Tyler, and we cast a vision for change. Tweaks. The kids have loved it. It's still early in the morning, so you got to get them up, but it's different. The vibe's different. The environment's different. You ask the students, it's different. And prayer is a huge part of it, and as it should be. Finally, the curricula is aligned under BJU Press and Summit Ministries. Very fine worldview, a biblical worldview foundational curricula. And we are going to expand that, and we're going to have more offerings that are advanced theological offerings, not just Bible, nothing wrong with that, but we should be pursuing excellence in the Bible track, in the spiritual formations track. Finally, service. Pastor Jared's done a great job of setting that foundation, but now he's going to have help. And we can supercharge our spiritual formations. And if you supercharge the spiritual formations, you have the potential to supercharge the culture, the academic culture, the athletic culture, the fine arts culture. But you got to get the spiritual formations right first. Academic programming, go back just 1 second. Getting a little jumpy, you're getting excited back there, Mr. Brophy, okay? I told you he's really good. Now on this stuff, he's still working on the kinks out, okay? I just gave you a promo, Mr. Brophy, I know, okay. Honors offerings. If I heard once, I heard it 19,000 times, you guys don't teach honors. And it was smoke and mirrors with online and stuff like that. Not anymore. Next year, hopefully in the 8th grade level, we have honors. Because you remember I told you we have a Bible teacher? That's all those teachers teaching Bible now freed up to teach honors. Teaching in their subject area. Not that they weren't great Bible teachers, not that they couldn't do it, but now we have a professionally trained Bible teacher, and now those folks that are professionally trained in math, English, science, and social studies, they're teaching honors. Now we have honors track official starting next year. You heard it here. It's on recording. Okay? CCP, which Mrs. Brooks will talk about, but one thing that's exciting is Cedarville University will be in partnership. We'll be teaching CCP on campus. Our teachers, like Mr. Baumgardner, Mr. Fisher, say it isn't so, will be teaching CCP classes, but there's a caveat. We've got to have enough students that sign up. So we can do it. It's on the books. We've got the MOU. We're ready. But we're going to need your help. And along with the other colleges in traditional CCP, electives, we're going to advance and expand electives. WCCC, Mrs. Brooks and I both come from a career tech background. We're going to expand those offerings, and we already are. Military, had our first military representative visit to our building, I think, maybe ever. And that's going to be a long march of them. I called all of them over the weekend. And we're starting to set up presentations. They're going to come and they'll do activities, they'll do different talks on leadership and things like that. This place should be a safe place for those that have served, are serving, have support of serving, and our community at large. And finally, internships, job training. We've already kind of scratched the surface. Mrs. Brooks has done another good job with that. We're going to expand that because we want to have our kids have great opportunities all over the place. Let's go to the next one. Athletics, you've heard a little bit about. Take a quick look at that. Mr. Himes doing a great job. Mark Messer, he is officially partnered with us. He's going to be teaching all of our PE and health, including summer PE. Yes, for 8th graders, coming at a theater near you, okay? And he'll be teaching advanced PE and be working on performance acceleration with our athletic. That's official. That's a partnership. That's exciting for our athletic teams now and the future, let alone our students. Then finally, if you look at that last bullet, we're trying to holistically approach this. We're trying to approach this from all angles with a core of a Christ-honoring culture. Next slide. When you grow athletics, you need to grow fine arts, and you need to grow your student clubs. Again, Mrs. Brooks has a background in choral in college. We have several people with talent. Mr. Stone, professional level musician. We got lots of musical talent. Your students deserve the very best. Mrs. Barry's doing a tremendous job. She can't do it alone. We're going to have to hire. And we want strings and orchestra and audition-based classes, and we want to send those people out to promote our school and all these different activities that everybody else does. Why shouldn't we? We've got great talent. With the arts, with Mrs. Stritholt, amazing stuff with limited resources. She does an awesome job. You guys all know that. Now she's going to have a new facility, new room, more resources. She's going to blow the top off. Your kids are going to have an opportunity to get the best of the best. There's not going to be any other place that has great teaching, great resources, great support. And then student clubs, I heard that question. Mrs. Chambers, formerly Miss Davis, we're still getting used to that. She is doing an outstanding job. We now have an NHS. Not just a JNHS, but we have an NHS. We're going to have elections. We have a faculty council. It's going to be legit. Youth chamber is going to grow. Student government is going to grow. We've got an FCA chapter. You know on a hand how many FCA chapters there are in Christian schools? Shameful. We got one. Mr. O'Connell's killing it right now. Fastest growing club on the campus. Finally, we want guest speakers, we want field trips, we want service, we want partnerships, we want everything. Why not for the kingdom? Why should we take a back seat? Why should we be second best? Why should we be mediocre? Next slide. As I finish up, I'm not going to get to everything, but it will be posted. You'll have these links. You'll be able to see. But I rewrote the course catalog. It took me about 20 hours. I scoured 6 different Christian schools in the area. Yes, I did use some AI. I admit it. Legally. Okay, Perplexity, Christian-based AI. Eventually it'll be BJU Press, Trek AI, which your kids, some of them are piloting right now. So I rewrote that. That's the draft. But if you look in those, when you get access to that, you're going to see honors courses. You're going to see advanced courses. You're going to see CCP. Things that you've been waiting for are here now. You don't have to wait. We can't do everything all at once, but we can do something, as my father used to say. Finally, professional development. Our teachers are going to be licensed at the highest level. We already have some of that. It's going to continue. Working with Mrs. Cope and the other leaders in the district and the Board of Education and Mr. Stone, our teachers are going to advance in their licensure. I've already talked about honors. Mrs. Brooks is going to talk about CCP. And finally, that other, I talked a little about that final star at the bottom. That was my job going into this year, was to be the accreditation liaison. I got another gig, so I got put on hold. We are going to be accredited in the next 3 years, 3 to 4. We will be not just a member of ACSI, which is one of the most prestigious Christian professional development organizations in the world, either 1 or 2. We will be accredited district-wide 3 to 5 years. I give my word to the best of my capacity to help do that, along with the team. Next slide. That's a big feather. Final words. Mr. Stone will appreciate this. I'm a wordy guy, so I didn't put word. I put words up there, okay? You guys will know that I'm pretty wordy. Okay, I'm not going to read all this, but here's the final things to take away. Cast vision, right? Let's cast vision. Let's build trust. Let's communicate and collaborate together graciously, honorably. Let's implement and fulfill the vision that was cast in 1973. This is what I ask of you. This is the homework for you guys. You ready? This is your homework. This is the real homework. LCS has been given a bold vision to cast, but we need your help to cast the nets. We need your help. So as I end right now, I am honored to be the principal of the secondary building. I absolutely am joyful every day. I'm a little tired in the morning because it's a long drive, but I'm joyful to be here. I love your kids. They're warming up to me a bit. Okay, yeah. Darth Vader, took a while for him to get back to the good side. Okay, but as I end, I'm committed to you. I'm here. I don't have to be here. I was called to be here. Now I'm going to make mistakes. Mr. Brophy's going to make a few more. Pastor Jared, just pray for him. But we together as a team, Mrs. Cope, Mrs. Perkins, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Hensley, the board, Mr. Spar, the church, pastors, Lester, Pastors Nick, and John Stone, you've got a good team. I've been around a lot of good teams. You've got a good team with no funky halftime show. All right, guys, I'm going to turn it over. Hang into your seats right now because it's going to get real exciting.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm the middle school, high school counselor. This is my first year here. I started in August. I had a long break home with kids for a while. Prior to that, I was a counselor at Blanchester High School, and before that, as Mr. White mentioned, I worked at Great Oaks for a while, so I have a career tech background as well. So this is our slide. If you'll click on the slideshow there, Mr. Brophy. And this is a nice little emoji. That's supposed to be me. Thank you, Mr. O'Connell, for that. Yeah. My daughter says that, yes, it does look like me. So College Credit Plus, I'm kind of trying to gauge the audience here. It looks like there are a few people that are currently in. Can you raise your hand if you're currently in CCP? I see Anne Marie, Katie. Okay, we got a couple.